see. Chapter. Let me see. 1 Samuel. Let me see. Wait, hold on. I'm looking at. Is he chapter 18 or 19? No, it's 1 Samuel chapter 20, actually. 1 Samuel chapter 20. Notice 1 Samuel chapter 20. 1 Samuel 20, verse 5. From verse 5, let's see. Down to verse 12. 1 Samuel 20. 1 Samuel 20 from verse 5 to verse 12. Notice what it says. 1 Samuel 20 from 5 to 12. And David said unto Jonathan, behold, tomorrow is the new moon. And I should not fail to sit with the king at meat, but let me go that I may hide myself in the field until the third day at even. And if thy father at all miss me, then say, David earnestly asked leave of me that he might run to Bethlehem, his city, for there is a yearly sacrifice there for all the family. If he say thus, it is well, thy servant shall have peace. But if he be very wroth, then be sure that evil is determined by him. Therefore thou shalt deal kindly with thy servant, for thou hast brought thy servant into a covenant of Yahweh with thee. Notwithstanding, if there be in me iniquity, slay me thyself. For why shouldest thou bring me to thy father? And Jonathan said, far be it from thee. For if I knew certainly that evil were determined by my father to come upon thee, then I would not tell. Would I tell thee? Then said David to Jonathan, who shall tell me what if thy father answer thee roughly? And Jonathan said unto David, come and let us go out into the field. Wait a minute. I was. That's not it. That was. He mentioned a new moon there, but later on in the chapter is what I'm talking about. Later on in the chapter is what I'm talking about. Let's look at from verse 24. From verse 24 on down to verse 27. Same chapter. 1 Samuel chapter 20 from 24 to 27. Notice what it says. 1 Samuel 20. Thank you, Isha. Notice what it says. So David hid himself in the field. And when the new moon was come, the king sat him down to meat. And the king said to his seat, sat upon his seat as at other times, even upon a seat by the wall. And Jonathan arose, and Abner sat by Saul's side, and David's place was empty. Nevertheless, Saul spake not anything that day, for he thought something hath befallen him. He is not clean. Surely he is not clean. And it came to pass on the morrow, which was the second day of the month. Did you notice that? The second day of the month, that David's place was empty. And Saul said unto Jonathan his son, wherefore cometh not the son of Jesse to meet now the yesterday nor today? So you can see the new moon was the first day, and first day of the month, and then the second day of the month. So every new moon is the first day of the month. They don't go by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's just the first day of the month. And then the second day. Then when you get to the 8th day, it's a Sabbath. And then the 15th day is a Sabbath. And then the 22nd day and it's like that every single month. And then when you get to the 29th day, is the last Sabbath of the month. And then there's one more day. It's the 30th day. And then there's the next new moon. Okay, everybody follow me? So every month has 30 days. And then after 30 days, there's a new moon. You know, Tanya, you might be right. And it could also be this. You know, the earth is slanted. Even science knows the earth is tilted. And that's why only 2 times a year there's an equinox. Equinox in March and equinox in September. And equinox is when the daylight and the nightlight the evening is exactly the same 12 hours each. And only twice. Now, if the earth wasn't tilted, maybe it would be 4 times. You know what I'm saying? But maybe, and I'm thinking like the flood and the volcanic activity of the flood threw the earth off. But it could be that too. So I don't know. I really don't know. And I don't want to guess. That's why I know people are arguing that, but I don't think it's worth arguing about. I don't know. And I know, but we will find out. We're going to find out eventually. We're going to find out. So, but one thing for sure, there's 30-day months in the scriptures, 30-day months. And so, and the earth does spin around 365 days. Because that's why we find ourselves in the right seasons every year on the solar calendar. But in the lunar calendar, like I said, if you added a 30-day month at the end of every 6 years, you'd be good. You'd be good, right? You have no problem. You'd have no problem. Okay, so yeah. So praise the Most High Yah. Anyway, so the brother was showing me, and so the new moon and the moon phases is how we will determine the days of the week. Is how, and you know what? Check this out. Right now, right? I want to make sure you can hear me. Testing 1, 2, 3. You guys hear me, right? Right now, you and I, we're in our enemy's land. And what? You want to know what day it is, you look on the calendar, right? What's today's date? You look in the calendar, right? Right? You look in the calendar, you see what day it is, right? But Daniel chapter 12. Notice Daniel chapter 12. Daniel 12. I'm going to read verse 1. Daniel 12 verse 1. Notice what it says. Daniel 12 verse 1. Notice what it says. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. When the plagues fall on this earth, they're going to have taken away all your stuff. If you're serving in the Most High, they're going to leave you with nothing but the clothes on your back. You're not going to have a place to stay. You're not going to have any money, any bank account, any car. You're not going to be able to buy anything or sell anything. You're just going to have the clothes on your back. You're going to end up wandering into places of the wilderness. You're going to end up wandering into what state forests and jungles and desert places, depending on where you are. You're not going to have a calendar. You're not going to have a cell phone. How are you going to know what day it is? How are you going to know when it's Sabbath? You're not going to be able to look at the calendar anymore. It's not going to tell you. You're going to be running. That's right. The way we're going to look at it, we're going to see it in the moon. You're going to look in the moon, you're going to see the new moon, and you're going to know this is the new moon. Okay, this is the first day of the month. And then you're going to count evening and morning. 8 evenings and mornings. You get to that, you know it's a Sabbath. Okay, then you're going to get 8 evenings and morning. You're going to see a full moon. It's going to be the 15th day of the month. You're going to know that's going to be a Sabbath, and it's going to be a full moon. 15th of the month is always a full moon. And then you're going to know 7 more days. It's going to be dark. Dark moon. They call it new moon in the world, but it's not a new moon. It's just dark. It's the end of the month. Then you're going to know 1 more. It's 30 days. And you're going to know what day it is. We're going to be in the wilderness for a while. It could be anywhere from 3.5 years or down to 1.5 years, but we're going to be out in the wilderness for a minute. Okay. And so there, that's where the Most High is going to put the finishing touch on us. Like, if a man is a carpenter and he makes, like my grandson made us a table. I say he made it for us because I'm claiming it, but he made a table. And after he made the table, after he carved the wood, he put the wood in place. He hammered it in this place. He made the table. Then he put a finish on it. And when you put the finish on it, right, it makes it smooth. He makes it like, you can almost see yourself in it. It's shiny, right? That's the finish, right? Well, that's what the Most High is going to do for us. When we're in the wilderness, when we're fleeing, because they're going to be coming after us. He's going to hide us. The Bible says he's going to hide us in his pavilion. Notice again, Psalm 91. Psalm 91. Psalm 91. Let's see. We're going to read from Psalm 91 from verse 1 down to verse 8. Actually, this could be the whole psalm. From verse 1 to 9. Notice what it says. Psalm 91, 1 to 9. Notice what it says. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty, Al Shaddai. I will say of Yahweh, he is my refuge and my fortress, my Most High. In him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. Because thou hast made Yahweh, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. We're going to be in the wilderness. They're going to be catching the plagues. We're going to have the Most High. He's promised he's going to take care of us. Notice again, Deuteronomy chapter 8. Deuteronomy chapter 8. Just like our fathers were tested in the wilderness, we're going to be tested in the wilderness. Just like he provided for them, he's going to provide for us. And we're going to have the moon phases guiding us in terms of what time it is, what month it is, even down to when the Most High is going to return. Because he's going to return on a full moon. It's going to be the 15th day of the 7th month. I don't know what year, not yet, but it's going to be 15th day of the 7th month. I can tell you what, though. It's going to come in the next 13 years. I can tell you that. It's coming very shortly. The 15th day of the 7th month. He's going to show us more as we get closer. But notice Deuteronomy chapter 8 from verse 1. Deuteronomy chapter 8 from verse 1 down to verse 6. Deuteronomy 8, 1 to 6. Talking about time of trouble. Talking about like it being as our fathers was when they came out the land. So it's going to be for us. Notice again. All the commandments which I command thee this day shall ye observe to do, that you may live and multiply and go in and possess the land which Yahweh sware unto your fathers. And thou shalt remember all the way which Yahweh thy Most High led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee and to prove thee, to know what was in thy heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or no. And he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger and fed thee with manna, which thou knewest not. Neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man doth not live by bread only, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yahweh doth man live. Thy raiment waxed not old upon thee, neither did thy foot swell these 40 years. Thou shalt also consider in thy heart that as a man chasteneth his son, so Yahweh thy Most High chasteneth thee. Therefore thou shalt keep the commandments of Yahweh thy Most High, to walk in his ways and to fear him. See? So we're going to go through a time of trouble. He's going to keep our clothes. We're not going to stink. He's going to keep our clothes fresh. He's going to provide us manna. And we're going to know what day it is by the moon phases. In that regard, we would be free from Babylon completely. He would have prepared us. See, this is a preparation for the kingdom. Everything we're going through now, everything he's teaching us now is preparation for the kingdom, brothers and sisters. And so at that time, he puts the finishing touches on us. He's going to put the finishing touches on us at that time. And so this new revelation that's new for me, I should say, not new for everybody, but the revelation of the moon phases, the lunar moon phases being the phases by which we keep our months, by which we keep the Sabbaths, by which the feasts are kept. We're going to be able to keep. We cannot keep it now. We cannot keep it now. We're in our enemy's land. We can't even keep feasts because we can only keep feasts where the Ark of the Covenant is. We can only keep feasts where the Ark of the Covenant, where the Father is, in Jerusalem. That's the place he chose. We cannot keep feasts in our enemy's land. But we can get together like we did last weekend. And we can have little mini get-together, little retreat. Some brothers try to keep a feast. They try to get together at the same time as the feast. Okay, all good. But we know we're in our enemy's land, and soon they're not going to even let us do that. They're not even going to let us do that. But for now, you still keep the Sabbath. Every 7 days is a Sabbath, right? It's all you got. You don't have the new moons right now. Every 7 days is a Sabbath. Every 7 days, right? It's like now. Now is the Sabbath. Where I'm at right now is the Sabbath. Testing 1, 2, 3. Everybody got me? See? Testing 1, 2, 3. So, hey, listen. The new moon is the new moon all over the earth. Praise the Most High Yah. And so when we keep the new moon, we're going to be keeping, everybody's going to know. The trumpet sound will go throughout the earth. Everybody will know it's the new moon. But right now, we're in our enemy's land. So we're keeping these 7 days on the Gregorian calendar. Is all we got. Okay, we're not going to discard the Sabbath. That's all we got. In the righteousness of the Father, that's all we got right now. Until we are in the wilderness, when we'll be keeping the new moon. And we'll be keeping the phases of the moon the way the Most High ordained us to do it. Praise the Most High Yahweh. Okay? Everybody got me so far? Testing 1, 2, 3. All right. So I wanted to bring that because I wanted to correct what I had said before. Because, like I said, the Most High, through the brother, he showed me where I was wrong, and how, these things are important. And yes, no, we're not. The calendar is different. My mind was so messed up with this Gregorian calendar that I couldn't. Again, it's part of the brainwashing, brothers and sisters. I'm just as brainwashed as the rest of y'all, and I'm coming out of the same darkness as everybody else, right? So my mind was so messed up with the Gregorian calendar that I couldn't. I couldn't see it. And not only that, the people that was teaching it, and they still teaching it, I haven't seen anybody really teach it properly, as my brother showed me last week. I haven't seen anybody teach it properly. They were talking about 354 days, 364 days, some people, the Enoch calendar when there was no Jubilees. No. But, and I want to tell you, it's not complicated. When you really think about it, 30-day months for 12 months is not complicated. It's very straightforward, right? It's very straightforward. 30-day months, 12 months, not complicated. Very straightforward. That's the way the Most High is. Praise His name. Praise His holy name. So, as we were studying Ezekiel, let's see where we at here. As we studying, looking at my time. As we studying Ezekiel, and we're looking, last week we started looking at chapter 48. Not last week, actually, the week before. We finished chapter 47. We're going to look at chapter 48. I'm going to just begin it right now. We'll come back to it probably tomorrow by the grace of the Most High. But in chapter 48 of Ezekiel, they start to divide the land by the tribes. Now, and you will notice the 12 tribes. Now, I want to also, in fact, I'm going to have to go through this again tomorrow because I want to also show you a couple of things. First, in Revelation chapter 21. Yeah, Revelation chapter 21. Revelation 21. Let's see. Talking about the city. Revelation 21 from verse 9 down to verse 12. Revelation 21 from 9 to 12. We'll come right back to Ezekiel, but Revelation 21, 9 to 12. And there came unto me one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials full of the 7 last plagues, and talked with me, saying, Come hither, I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife. So he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from Yahweh, having the glory of Yahweh. And her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal. And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Now, I want to show you the reason I brought this up here for a couple of reasons. Remember now, when Ezekiel was shown the second temple, if you recall, he was taken on top of a mountain and he saw the city. Remember that? But that was the second temple. There was no 12 angels standing at 12 gates like that. But he was shown the city and he was shown the temple. That was the second temple. But this one here, he's shown, this is again, their continent is now being taken and he's being shown the city, but this is the last one. This is the one that came down out of heaven. This is the one that has 12 angels, one at each gate, and at each gate has the name of a tribe on it. So you're going to see now, Ezekiel 48 is going to have the same thing. And I was a little confused many years ago because I was looking at chapter 7 and I'm looking at the 144,000, which represents the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. And they don't have the 12 tribes. All the 12 are not there. Like, in other words, like they have Levi there, which is one of the 12, but they have Manasseh there. And Manasseh is Joseph. And they have Manasseh and Joseph, and there's no Dan. And I was like, where's Dan? Is Dan lost? Well, Dan is not being represented in the 144,000, but he's still represented as one of the 12 tribes because he is one of the 12 brothers, and you're going to have people from the tribe of Dan that are saved. And so let's take a look in Ezekiel chapter 48. Ezekiel chapter 48. I'm going to read from verse 1 down to verse 11. Ezekiel 48 from 1 to 11. Notice what it says. Now these are the names of the tribes. Right? So you're going to name the tribes. From the north end to the coast of the way of Hethron, as one goeth to Hamath, Hazor Anan, the border of Damascus northward, to the coast of Hamath. These are his sides, east and west, a portion for, look, the first one he names, Dan, a portion for Dan. Okay? And by the border of Dan, from the east side unto the west side, a portion for Ashar. And from the border of Ashar, from the east side even unto the west side, a portion for Naphtali. From the border of Naphtali, from the east side unto the west side, a portion for Manasseh. And by the border of Manasseh, from the east side unto the west side, a portion for Ephraim. And by the border of Ephraim, from the east side unto the west side, a portion for Reuben. And by the border of Reuben, from the east side unto the west side, a portion for Judah. And by the border of Judah, from the east side. Now watch Judah. It extends a little bit now. By the border of Judah, from the east side unto the west side, shall be the offering, which they shall offer, of 25,000 reeds in breadth, and in length as one of the other parts, from the east side unto the west side. And the sanctuary shall be in the midst of it. That's in the midst of Judah. And the oblation that ye shall offer unto Yahweh shall be 25,000 in length, and of 10,000 in breadth. And for them, even for the priests, shall be this holy oblation. Toward the north, 25,000 in length, and toward the west, 10,000 in breadth, and toward the east, 10,000 in breadth, and toward the south, 25,000 in length. And the sanctuary of Yahweh shall be in the midst thereof. It shall be for the priests that are sanctified, the sons of Sadak, which have kept my charge, which went not astray when the children of Israel went astray, as the Levites went astray. So now, he's not including the Levites, but he's giving them an offering of land by the city, and included with Judah's land. And he's going to give them more. But we're going to stop here tonight. But you can see he gives them